Following our visit to the Taj Mahal, we then went to the Red Fort, which was built by Akbar the Great, who was the son of Humayun, whose tomb we'd already visited earlier. It was completed in 1573. Took 4,000 builders, goodness knows how long to build it. But it didn't assume any sort of great importance until the reign of his grandson, Shah Jahan. Shah Jahan was spending an absolute fortune on buildings. He had them all built in white marble, and any buildings that he didn't like, which weren't in white marble, he knocked them down and rebuilt other structures. His son deposed him because of his seemingly spendthrift ways, and he was confined to the Red Fort for the rest of his life. And from the Red Fort he could see the Taj Mahal, which was the mausoleum to his third wife. This is the Red Fort in Agra, built by the 4th, 5th and 6th Mughal emperors in this early morning sun. It's just after 10 o'clock in the morning. So we're just coming through this gate, which is about the 3rd gate, having been through security, and we enter this large garden area. Sort of open parade area, which is quite stunning. So this is where the king had his audiences with the public, the Mughal emperor as it were. And over there is his private mosque, because they were Muslim. And unfortunately you're not allowed to go in it now. This is the silver gate. It's painted now, but in the past it was it had silver panelling on it, which the king came through for his public audiences from his private quarters, which were, the fort was divided into two. There was sort of the part for the royals and part for the public. It's a very big fort. It's about 1.5 kilometres long and about half a kilometre wide in places. And what you see on the pillars is semi-precious stone marquetry on marble. So these coloured and inlaid. They're only about 0.5 millimetre thick, but inlaid into the marble in sort of marquetry form. A great many of them were damaged. It would seem that the average British soldier wasn't beyond prizing these things out with his bayonet. Certainly in Delhi there are large areas where the semi-precious stones are missing. The grooves are still there. The corners of the pillars were painted in gold leaf, so in the sunshine the whole thing just sparkled. This is where we're going to now, in this This is the most beautiful room in the palace, with all this inlay work. You can see here how some of it has been prized out, unfortunately. You can see there just how sort of deep it goes, going very fast. The fifth Mughal emperor was Shah Jahan, and it was he who built the Taj Mahal for his wife, who died very young. And he was spending so much money that his son, the sixth Mughal, arrested him and confined him to these quarters here. And the arrangement was that the Taj Mahal would be built where the fifth Mughal could see it from his bedroom, and this was part and parcel of the royal chambers here. And this is another courtyard. The upstairs apartments tended to be for women. So there were the royal apartments there, and over there in the distance you can see the Taj Mahal in the gloom. But we will go and visit it this evening in the sunset. Just make the outline out of it there. And you can see that the river is in fact almost dry. In fact, it's dry at this point. So these are the royal quarters, and this is where Shah Jahan was confined when he was arrested by his son. This is wonderful gardens. Every year they used to renew this soil with fresh soil after the monsoons. And this is his bedroom. This is where he was confined, in here. And on either side of it you can see these sort of brass domes. They were in fact originally covered in gold, but the gold was taken away and shipped back to England. So it's just brass. And he died in here, and his body was taken from here to the Taj Mahal in secret, and he was buried alongside his wife there. And we go and see that this evening at sunset, which will be, if it's anything like today, will be really, really nice. You can see just how ornate this carved limestone is in his bedroom, but most of these semi-precious stones seem to have disappeared. There's slight evidence of them around, but most of it is gone. See if there's something there being renovated in that corner. You can see in a bit more detail the bedroom or the accommodation for one of his daughters. The other daughter lived on the other side, and it was them who took care of the Shah Jahan in his old age. This was the third Mughal's harem. They had God knows how many wives, hundreds, maybe thousands, I don't know. But this is where they stayed, in these rooms here. As the sun of the day warms up, the torch is becoming a little more clear. But, pit where they used to get two elephants drunk and then set them on one another. Sort of fight to the death. They were fighting until one of them couldn't defend itself. Some of the original decoration survives. What happened was that the people who made the inlay for the marble pillars, the powder which was left, they passed on to the painters. And the painters made all sorts of colours with it. The blue is lapis lazuli, which I think you can only find in Afghanistan. It's a very, very expensive paint. And you can see the decor up there. Not very much of it survived, unfortunately. But it's obviously been absolutely glorious place in its day. This is one of these raw screens close up. You have to excuse the noise of Chinese. They're absolutely horrendous. They just shout at one another. That is beautiful. So the carving, the whole of the carving is just magnificent. This is a different screen with lotus flowers carved into it. And behind these things was usually a corridor. And people could listen to what was being said out here. But I think this corridor or this arrangement was for keeping the building cool. There's some kind of arrangement for passing the wind from the river through the building, and also running water down these walls on the inside, so when it evaporated the whole place stayed cool. A bit like we used to keep milk cool in earthenware jars before we had refrigerators, and that was a bit long ago. This is one solid piece of sandstone which has been carved. It was used as a bathtub by one of the Mughals. I can't remember which one. It's just like a big cup. It must have taken sort of steps to get in and out. You see the step there. So they paint the white marble. This is with henna, but you can paint it with anything. And then they carve out the patterns of iron, pointed iron file kind of thing.
So I should imagine
They carve into the white marble here, and then they insert these little bits of semi-precious stones. On this, they're quite proud, but they obviously, in some way, polish them so that it's all very level. I don't know how many small pieces of glass, semi-precious stones there are on here, but there's an awful lot. And next door, when we go into the shop, there's some wonderful tables in there, which I have photographs of, which I took before. You're not allowed to take video or photographs in there now. But it is not cheap. But they will ship it on for you if you want.